Hello, YouTube. It's it's my birthday. It's 8:57 p.m. Saturday, August 6, 2022. Recording this on my iPhone 7 Plus. Checking the date on my Obama phone. And right as I started recording, I just got a pop-up that is has me wondering about something I hadn't even considered. Now I'm forgetting what my last storage was on my old iPhone 6S Plus that I was so fond of. The one that I got jumped when I got mugged and was stolen from me. That one, I think it was a 64 gig. Anyway, the pop-up that keeps coming up is telling me that my iCloud is almost full. And it says that I'm paying for 50 gigs of iCloud storage and that I'm at 49.6 gigs in it. And that I need to either pay for more iCloud. Currently, I'm on a plan that I pay $1 a month for whatever the default is for free iCloud space that every Apple user gets. I'm at the next tier up, which is $1 a month. Which, like, there's a part of me is like, fuck you, Apple, for taking $1 a month from me. But then when I consider like what I'm getting out of it, it's like, what's $1 a month? You know, I mean, what's a dollar buy these days? You know, not much. It smells like weed right here, so I'd share that with you. Anyway, yeah, what's $1 a month? It's not much. Oh shoot! And there I am blocking the lens again. Not that you can see, you just see an extra shadow. Yeah, $1 a month. And I hadn't really given it any thought. Like since I since I bumped it up to that, it takes $1 a month for my PayPal. Most of the time I don't even notice. Like I do get an email, receipt. It's like, oh, we just received it, you're just auto billed $1 from Apple. I'm like, oh, there went $1. Okay, whatever. Doesn't really change my budget any. But yeah, I hadn't really given it any thought. The phone was a 64 gig phone. And I don't think iCloud, is where your apps are backed up. Like the iCloud will have some data somewhere on it that says, what apps you have. But as far as like the actual apps, I mean, those are in the Apple App Store, and when you restore them, they come from there. So it doesn't, the amount of space on your phone that is taken up by apps and whatnot. So basically, what's backed up on the iCloud is like all your conversations, all your pictures, all your videos. For me, it's lots of videos, but lots of pictures as well. I mean, I've got pictures going back to my very first iPhone, which I think I got in. Oh, I'm trying to think what. I want to say it's been 4 years since I got my first iPhone, maybe 5 years. Which kind of makes me wonder about people who have been using iPhones since like iPhones first came out. For the longest time, I was always just like, yeah, I see no reason to get an iPhone. I see no reason to get an iPhone. They're so much more expensive than Androids. Androids do everything that I need to do. Why the hell would I get an iPhone? And I'm sure I've told this story before as to why I got my first iPhone. And it basically goes back to when I was a lime juicer. Sort of, I don't know, maybe within my first few months of being a lime juicer. And which is about the same time I started being a Redditor and started participating in R Lime Juicer. That was the first thing. That's actually what drew me to Reddit. That was that subreddit where people were actively talking about things that you could do to make more money as a lime juicer and kind of helping each other out, because lime juicer support is to say they're not particularly helpful as an understatement. So anyway. It's nice to see so many kids out playing in here today. It's nice to see this park being used. as a park as opposed to as a giant homeless encampment. Anyway, so yeah, I did constantly see people, you know, where, and it wasn't even just me. It was a lot of times conversations between other people where they would be talking about, you know, there was a place where the sidewalk was buckled here, and it looks like Phoenix fixed it. I think it was right here. Yeah, that looks like some fresh cement right there. Wow, thank you, Phoenix Parks Department, for finally getting on that. Wow, I didn't even notice that this morning, but yeah, that sidewalk's nice and smooth now. You know, got to give the props where they're due, and thank you, City of Phoenix, for that. Now, if y'all could put a little cement on this pathway here, that'd be nice. Of course, they probably don't even acknowledge that this is a pathway, but yeah, and it doesn't have lighting on it either, so but it very much is a pathway. In fact, in my mind, this is, yeah, and my mind is a strange place that feels the need to assign names to everything, including unnamed pathways. And in my mind, this is 45th Street. If 45th Street existed, it would be right here. So yeah, so this path in my mind is 45th Street. Anyway, I digress. Where was I? Yeah, so people were talking in the lime juicer thing where people would be having problems, and a lot of people's like, hey, get an iPhone. And, you know, of course, which more often than not degraded into the whole, what's better, an iPhone or an Android? And which was, as I found out later, an uneducated debate about the wrong thing. Because what they really needed to be debating and talking about, and what few people did talk about when these you know, well, get an iPhone. No, Android's better. Fuck an iPhone. iPhone's just Apple raping people for money. Kind of it is. But what they needed to be talking about is which is better, the Lime app for iOS or the Lime app for Android. That was the relevant bit of discussion as far as, you know, for lime juicers, and that's something I think people don't think about when they're talking about, well, what's better, Apple, or what's better, Apple, iOS or Android. Now keep in mind, I mean, one thing with iOS, Apple devices, there's not really so many of them. So, you know, performance of Apple and performance of iOS is pretty consistent across different devices, and there's only so many different devices you can get. Whereas Android's an open platform, and, you know, to say there's so much variance between different Android devices. I mean, like, shit, for a while when I was running Obama phone number 1 and 2, and then the super low-end Samsung that the homeless woman sold me for $10. All three of those are Android, but all three of those were just dramatically different in the way they operated. And now I got Obama phone 3, like, it's dramatically different from the way those operated too. Yeah, there's so many radical differences between, because Android can be so customized by the phone manufacturer and by overlays and stuff that, and some stuff you can't even do anything about, like that first. I hate it when assholes blink their brights like that. Dude, that doesn't make a difference at all. All it is bugging my eyes. Stop it. I can't believe people fall for the thing. Oh, that makes the light change quicker. Do you see the light changing quicker? No. The only thing that's going to make that light change quicker is me hitting the walk button. This guy assaulting me with his freaking brights. Yeah, the light is changing. I didn't make it to hit the walk button. Before we got here, so I'm not going to get a walk signal, which means this light is going to cycle fast. Oh yeah, I'm not making it across. Damn this fucking Strode. I hate it. I mean, it's nice living near a major street where I can tell people where I live and they can find my place easily. But as a person who mostly walks, yeah, it sucks living this near this road. Well, actually, to be fair, it sucks having to walk across this road and walk along this road. It sucks all the homeless people that for whatever reason are attracted to that road. But what is nice for a person like me that walks everywhere is because that is such a major road. I do have, like, when I go into RFUC cars and people are talking about, car dependency and how, well, I have to have a car. I can't even get groceries without a car. That's not a problem for me. I have all the amenities of Arcadia Crossing and all the shopping that is near Arcadia Crossing that is completely walking distance for me. That's a lot. It's Costco. I got the giant fries. Target. Gosh, you think I know all the rest of the stores there. Cons. Not that I'm buying anything else from Cons, but hey, I bought a TV from Cons once. Ross. How could I forget Ross? I love shopping at Ross. Taco Bell, Chipotle. There used to be an Anna's Linens there. I miss Anna's Linens. Of course, that whole business completely out of business, but I did like having an Anna's Linens shop there. I'm trying to remember the name of the place that took over Anna's Linens spot. Five Below. That's a neat little store. Not your typical dollar store. But yeah, everything there is, as I say, Five Below. It's $5 and less. And they have an interesting selection of like really cheap tech and really cheap just t-shirts and just fun trinket type items and little toys and little handy household gadgets and a great selection of like snacks and candy. So love Five Below. Five Below is a fun little store. Anyway, I wouldn't have all those amenities that I can walk to, walking distance, if it wasn't for that giant ass road there. So yeah, as you got to take the bad with the good, and the reality is that people in Phoenix drive. So except for me, I'm walking. Yep. Oh gosh, I wasn't going to be talking about iPhones and Strodes. I was actually wanting to kind of update the last video and what's going on with Priscilla and I. God, I'm just so like, now I'm talking about the iPhone. I want to get that all out my system. Yeah, anyway, so iPhone apps and Android apps are really, more often than not created equal. Like, they try to make them the same, but just inherently they usually aren't. And certainly that was the case with Lime. And I found out with a quickness when I got my first iPhone that the Lime app, especially the juicer portion of the Lime app for iOS, absolutely ran rings around the one for Android, and where it particularly ran rings. And mind you, this wasn't even a case of well, maybe if you used a better, a higher end, if you used a higher end Android, you wouldn't have that problem. Because at the time I was using, and this was several years ago when it was considered, when it was a somewhat recent and still, highly regarded and still considered powerful phone. I was using a Samsung Galaxy Note 5. Love that phone. I've had like 3 Galaxy Note 5s over the years. And I would happily grab another Galaxy Note 5 if I had a chance to grab one. Even as dated as they are. Great little device. but yeah, the app, it became from the moment I used it, I'm like, oh, this is different. Oh, this is way more responsive. And the one thing that really stood out is it just seemed like, and I can't explain really why, but it just seemed like it more, it seemed like it updated the map quicker as to when scooters were available to be picked up. Now, this was before, and if you're not a lime juicer, this probably won't make much sense to you, or if you've never been a lime juicer, but basically they called it harvesting. Bird used to call it capturing, but basically when you scan and take in a scooter to be charged, they pop up on the map as being available with a little thing on it to tell you how much money it pays if you get it, because they're not all the same. And it just seemed like they dramatically popped up quicker on the iOS. It seemed like the iOS refreshed that and updated that information more frequently than the Android one. And maybe I'm wrong, but that just certainly seemed to be my experience. And it also seemed to be more responsive in other ways, but that was the big thing. And at that point in time, now for a long time, there's been a feature where you can put a hold on a Lime, where as soon as you see one, you can click on it and you can reserve it, and then that's yours until you go and scan it. Now, granted, I found out quickly after that feature was implemented, that doesn't prevent some asshole or some unscrupulous juicer from just rolling up and throwing that thing in his truck and hopes he can scan it later once your hold expires. Now, that's something that's strictly prohibited by the rules, but it's kind of been my experience that the way Lime handles that is it's kind of a stop doing that, or we'll tell you to stop doing that again. I don't know of too many people that actually got suspended or particularly dealt with for doing it, and a lot of people did that bullshit. It was very frustrating for me as a juicer. There's nothing worse than me having a hold on something, and then I as I'm a couple blocks away from it, I see it moving down the map, and you'd see it moving on the map. Like, you would still have a hold on it, it'd be reserved, which I think at that point, like as soon as you put a reserve on it, it makes it disappear off everybody else's map. But I'd still see it on my map, and it would have a countdown timer on it showing like how long my hold existed, and I'd be like, oh, I still got 10 minutes on that. And for 10 minutes I'd see that bitch moving around the map, and sometimes I'd follow it and I would see what vehicle my shit was in and take pictures of the vehicle and take pictures of the plate and send that to juicer support. It didn't seem to really do anything. Now, when I presented that to my actual manager, the guy I used to call Man Bun, the actual manager at the warehouse, now he seemed to deal with it a little more directly. But yeah, juicer support didn't seem to do jack shit about it. Now Man Bun had the power to suspend some of those people, and I do believe he did suspend a few people that I had reported, and that some other, more full-time, not like, full-time and part-time is really applicable in that kind of a contract-related job, but people that people are working out working like damn near every day, at all hours of the day, I would call full-time. And I had several friends I would definitely consider full-time juicers, like Austin. Don't know whatever happened to him, but he was a cool guy. Some other buddies of mine that I'd see out working, they would never do that sort of thing to another juicer. In fact, we used to call each other sometimes on the phone, hey, are you headed for that? Are you headed for that one out in Chandler? Because I'm not going to waste my gas driving to Chandler if you're headed that way, kind of thing. Oh, there's the bar. I'm walking down the alley, doo-dah. And anyway, we would, but yeah, so anyway, back to the iPhone versus Android thing. This was before that was implemented, and before that was implemented, it was like a mad dash to see who got to it, which was insane. Like, it just blew my mind. It's like, why is there not a feature that assigns these to the nearest juicer? Why is there not a feature where somebody can hold it? And eventually they put that feature in where you could hold it. But before that, it was literally whoever could run to it. And it was, I mean, it was like the real life scooter, we're trying to make a living here equivalent of Pokemon Go. Like whoever got to it got it first. And oh, it would be so frustrating. And mind you, I mean, I'm paying for gas and I'm driving a vehicle here. It would be frustrating, and trying to find places to park and run on ASU campus, because I mean, we were still, that was before the scooters had been all kicked out of ASU campus, and it'd just be like this mad dash to try to get to the damn scooters before somebody else did. And it'd be real disheartening. Like you're parking across the street and you see the scooter as you go around the corner and you park, and then as you're getting out of your car, you see somebody else scan it and ride off on it. There's this one guy that used to beat me to them in ASU all the time, and I wish I would have at one point caught up with him, just let him know, dude, you keep kicking my ass and fucking up my day, and I have so much mad respect for you. I really wanted to meet him and tell him that, because what that guy did, which I thought was fucking brilliant, and I'm convinced the guy was an ASU student, what that guy did was I'm gonna walk to the Circle K. I was thinking about walking down that alley, but I know I've tried that before, and that's a dead end. What that guy used to do, which I thought was freaking brilliant, is rather than messing with trying to see where he could park around ASU and messing with the car, he had a backpack and a skateboard, and he would skateboard to the scooter. Hell yeah, he was getting there faster than me. Going all these places I can't move my car, not having to worry about parking or nothing. And he rolled with a scooter. Now granted, I could go anywhere in the valley that there's scooters, which included at that point in time Scottsdale, well, pretty much Scottsdale, Tempe, Old Town Scottsdale, Central Tempe, and all points in between. That was before they expanded to Phoenix or Mesa or Gilbert. But although some of them would drift, outside of the area, there was no kind of geofencing at that time to restrict somebody from riding one outside of the area. So people would ride them till the battery died. And sometimes ones would pop up in my neighborhood. It's pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, this I had so many times when I'd be around, so of course, obviously he was limited to stuff around, that was close enough he could skateboard to. But I knew whenever I was around ASU that yeah, this guy can move around more deftly than I can. But yeah, he'd be on a skateboard, and he would, kind of neat how you can see how they raised the fence to stop people from cutting in from those sketchy apartments to this and cutting through this office complex. And it works, because I ain't hopping that wall. Not that I would have hopped it before, but just saying. So, but yeah, he had a backpack. I don't know what else he had in the backpack. Probably not much. But yeah, he would get to the scooter on his skateboard, roll right up on it, scan it with his smartphone, and then throw his scooter in his backpack and ride off on the, through the smartphone in the backpack and ride off on the scooter. And just that guy, yeah, ran rings around me. But yeah, so anyway, having your phone refresh those, show those on the map quicker, yeah, gave you a great edge on getting it to me. And once I got the iOS, I'm thinking, well, no wonder some of these people are just kicking my ass at this, and I have so many that I get to that other people are rolling up and leaving with them before I get there. No wonder that's happening. I've got, yikes. I'm, if it's showing up on their screen, a minute or two or even 30 seconds before it's showing up on my screen, in this game, that's a significant head start. And I want to say the first day I used my iPhone, I probably made $50 or $60 more, $50 or $60 more than I had at any day using my Note 5. So yeah, that sold me on iPhone. And it had nothing to do with iPhone. It just had to do with, I'm a lime juicer. This is where I'm deriving most of my income, and holy shit, this makes a difference. This is just changing platforms and changing which app I use just dramatically boosted my income. Yeah, I'm on this. The other thing that was notable, and this was the thing that initially drew me to iPhone, the change in the line map is what kept me there. But this is the thing that originally drew me to iPhone versus, you know, and again, my main thing at the time is I was a lime juicer. That drew me to iPhone versus Android, which at that time was actually Note 5 that I was using, was that invariably as a lime juicer, I'm going to drop my damn phone and I'm going to crack the screen. And get a screen protector. Yeah, you know, two problems with screen protectors. A, I freaking hate them. And B, working out in the heat in the sun. Most people that are in favor of screen protectors, I've noticed they work in air-conditioned environments. I would be out working in the heat, in the sun, trying to grab my scooters, and the screen protectors tend to cause an issue with heat dissipation of the phone, which actually became a bigger issue with my iPhone than it was with the Samsung, but it was also an issue with the Samsung. So yeah, I can't be working if my phone is overheated. And the phone overheats, and then suddenly I can't do anything until it cools off. So is her name really God Be here? Is that a real name? But Tough on Prime, obvious conservative, has the name God Be here. I can't make this shit up. This is weird. I'm just gonna call her Gina. I'm voting for Gina. I like Gina. Yeah, so anyway, oh, by the way, for those who haven't been paying attention, the primary election in Arizona, it came and went. Carrie Lake did win the Republican primary for governor by a long shot, which I fully expected she would. You know, I couldn't vote in that election. I couldn't, not without changing my registration, which I didn't feel like doing. I considered it, but I didn't feel like doing. I didn't even open my Libertarian ballot. I've opened that one enough times to know that it makes zero difference. It's just an exercise of futility. I do fully intend to vote in the midterm primary, though. I definitely do. Definitely will be voting in that, and just throwing that out there. Yeah, probably for Carrie Lake, because whatever. I mean, what are my other options? Who is the Democrat running for governor? I don't even know. Oh, I think it's Katie Hobbs. I don't know. Anyway, I'm to the Circle K. I just wanted to come in here and get some munchies before I head over to the bar. But of course, I'm still running my mouth and walking. So, and I didn't even get to talking about Priscilla. I'm just still talking about the whole thing of why I switched to Apple after years and years of thinking apples are a waste of money. Initially, it really did come down to, it came down to something that would save me money and potentially save me money. And then suddenly I realized, holy shit, with the app that I use to make money, this makes me way more money. Sold. In the fact that I was able to get into it in a zero risk sort of situation. This is when my friend Jeff had his shop. He had his shop on Indian School called Wireless Phone Bill, or Wireless Phone Bill. He'll help you get a wireless phone bill. It was called Wireless Phone Booth, and he would. One of his guys was like, "Look, leave us your Android. We'll go ahead and fix your Android," which was my Note 5. Replacement screens on a Note 5 were expensive. And as the Note 5 was getting older, they were becoming more expensive and harder to source. First time I replaced the screen on the Note 5, like they were able to get it like within the hour or whatever. Maybe they had it in stock. But it came a point where as the phone became more and more dated, it became harder and harder for them to get that part, and more expensive. And if memory serves, it was nearly. He told me that not only was I missing more days of work while I'm waiting for them to source replace the screen, because my phone screen would be so messed up it couldn't work, or in other situations, like I could still use the screen. It was annoying because it was cracked, but it was still usable. But yeah, I'd have to be waiting rather than getting it fixed in a hurry. the big thing was price. Like, it seemed like the price, as they were getting more scarce, the price was going up on the replacement screens for the Note 5. And he was able to, back then, I think he was able to replace the screen for a 6S Plus. He's like, yeah, you switch to this phone when you inevitably break it, because I know you will, because I know you. We keep these screens in stock. We keep these screens in stock, and we're looking at $65 out the door to replace the screen when you break it, versus, you know, 160 or whatever, 150, whatever, you know, when you kill your Note 5. And yeah, that was the big selling point. I'm like, well, I'm on the fence about messing with a new OS after years of being comfortable with Android, but let me, you know. But yeah, the potential of having to pay less money and wait less time when I break a screen is very appealing. And then he also was like, hey, you know, he's, if you don't want this phone, this is a hot selling phone for us. Like as long as you don't fuck it up, like when we get your Android fix, bring it back. If you don't like it, take it right back. 100% refund your money, man. You always take care of us, Dan. You got it. And I'm like, well, this is a no-risk offer. Let me give it a try. And yeah, just those first few days, I made so much more money just because of the Lime app being so much more efficient. That, yeah, pretty much sold on the iPhone 6s Plus. Now since then, and iOS in general. Now since then, there's my life has changed dramatically. Lime no longer part of it, but there's been other things that I've grown to like about iOS versus Android, and at this point, a lot of it stems to the fact that I'm using really crappy Androids, but yeah. For me, as much as I vlog at this point, one of the biggest things is just the image stabilization that's just built into iOS that makes for better quality video. And the way everything is so seamlessly backed up on the iCloud. Now, I do think that's actually a feature of Android as well, and I haven't enabled it. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I'm constantly being told I'm running out of space, and I realized that with a 64 gig phone, there was just no way that amount of space, you know, that amount of space was always backed up with my 50 gigs of iCloud space, which cost me $1. Didn't think of it. But now that I have a 128 gig phone, in order for me to be able to fully utilize my iCloud backup and all the additional space on this phone, yeah, I'm gonna have to get a higher tier iCloud subscription, and that's something I hadn't even considered. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully, it's not going to cost too much money. I'm gonna look into it. I mean, you know, if I go from paying $1 a month to $2 or $3 a month, again, not going to break my bank, but it's something I need to handle. But anyway, I'm at Circle K. I'm gonna get me a sandwich, and I guess I'll talk about what happened with Priscilla later. I should give you in short as far as where I'm at right now and why I'm out here walking. I had asked her to walk with me. That's something that to me is a big deal. Like, that she's, you know, I want a significant other that's down to be where I'm at. And if you're too good to ride the bus with me and you're too good to walk with me, I feel like we're not right for each other. If you're too good for those things, you're not my significant other. That was one thing that was really, really appealing for me when I first hooked up with Crystal. And that was, you know, that's a relationship that lasted 4 days, 5 days, whatever, you know, and was ultimately she was awful, you know, but. And yeah, I wish she drove. I wish she had a vehicle. I mean, it blows my mind that a woman could be 42 years old and have never driven and never had a driver's license. But that's another, you know, it's a separate tragedy. But she had the fact that she was willing to ride the bus to go run some errands with me. And I think she appreciated that, you know, that when we went to the grocery store, we walked to the grocery store together. So I asked if I was going out. I'm like, yeah, I'm going in. And she's sitting in the living room. She's working on, she has done some packing and some cleaning today. Not much, a pretty dismal amount of not much, but she has done some. So I give her props for that. she did throw a little temper tantrum when she asked about me getting the stuff out of my storage unit, and I'm like, well, you know, yeah, you need to come out with me and we need to put it in your vehicle. I mean, I put my foot down on it. Everything that I already moved to my storage unit is not coming back in this apartment, except for the bag, the suction bag, because obviously that needs to be compressed down and she can put a whole lot more clothes in it before she sucks it down. But the rest of the stuff, oh, and I forgot she had a hand truck, a dolly. I guess I've just kind of taken possession of that dolly so long ago, in my mind, I kind of began to think it was mine. But yeah, I remember it was very much hers. So yeah, by all means, move the dolly into the apartment. That'll help you move stuff. But the other things, which were the bass guitar, the guitar stand, that's a real emotional sore spot for me. Like, no, do not want that in my home. Period. I don't want a reminder of this other dude that you may or may not have done something with, but whatever, like you were more than willing to accept a very pricey gift from this guy at a party that you were there with him that you didn't invite me to. I mean, I didn't say all these things, but that's where my head's at. Like, no, I don't want that in my home. Period. Take that to his place. Go play it at his place. When you get your place, go play it at your place. I don't want it in my place. Period. Full stop. It's already been taken out of storage. Your vehicle is parked right by my storage. No, we're not bringing it back and forth. And I said the other stuff are sealed boxes. I said everything else is sealed boxes. She goes, well, I need to open those boxes and see what's in them and sort through them. I'm like, no. Those are unopened boxes that have never been opened, and you can open them somewhere else. And she's like, what? I said, yeah, you had that new printer, you had some new, whatever those other things are. They're all in unopened boxes. They just need to go. They need to go. No, none of it. And then she got pissed about it. You know what, bitch, this is my house. I make these decisions. You know, be grateful I'm letting you sit here right now. Really, like seriously. I mean, other friends telling me, you know, you should just box up all her shit and have it sitting in the corner. That way, when she sews up, she can just grab the boxes and go. I got other people telling me to throw that shit on the curb. I'm trying to be a little more, you know, civil. I'm trying to be a little more civil than that. But on the same token, I'm trying not to get walked on either. But yeah, I was like, no, you're not. No, you're not. Those things are already been taken out. You need to move them from storage to your vehicle, which is right in front of the storage. And she threw a little temper tantrum like a child over that. Like oh, and did I tell you she bought new headphones? She's bought 2 pair of new headphones. I think she got a refund on one of them because they really weren't what she needed. All right, we're camping in the car wash over here. Good times. Yeah, she literally threw a temper tantrum. Like, she was sitting in the living room when I woke up. She's sitting in the living room on her laptop, which I've been frustrated how much time she spends on a laptop. But at this point, every time I've looked at her laptop, what she's actually been doing, she hasn't just been sitting there watching Netflix on it, which is what she was doing a lot of before. When I've looked at her laptop, it looked like she was actively filling out applications for new apartments. So, yeah, I'm not going to tell her not to do that. By all means, keep filling out applications. Get yourself another apartment. Get the hell out of here. Yeah. I'm if I can facilitate that by, you know, her doing that at my place on my Wi-Fi, then yeah, that's a positive thing, as long as I still see that some packing is being done. Nice trucks. Sorry about your penis. Yeah. Then I can. Wow, somebody hiding under the trees over there. Yeah. Then we can. You know. I can roll with that. But and she's got headphones on. I'm assuming she's listening to music, and generally, like, when I'm in a space hanging out with somebody, like, I find it irritating when they put headphones on and listen to music and ignoring me. Like, come on, we're in a shared space here. Like, headphones are for when you're, like, on the bus or you're walking or something. Like, but then I kind of, so at first I was a little bothered by that, and then I kind of took a step back and I'm like, well, I've been asleep. I'm not playing music. And I have pretty much made it to where she has no access to use any of my stuff to play music. So, and I've told her how much it annoys me hearing music coming out of laptop speakers or cell phone speakers. So yeah, I haven't really given her any other options to listen to music. So I probably wouldn't want to be sitting in silence while I fill out applications either. So, okay, that's fine. And I just woke up, so it's not like, you know what I mean? Not like we were having a conversation and spending time together and she suddenly put on headphones and tuned me out. So So, but yeah, I mean, still thinking about that. Still like, oh god, fucking I'm wearing headphones in here. Oh, that's why I'm wearing headphones. Okay, cool. But yeah, so she had the headphone like one ear off as we're having this conversation about, well, you haven't brought my stuff in yet. Well, I'm not bringing it in. It needs to go from the storage into your vehicle. What? Why? Yeah. And so anyway, she threw a temper tantrum like a fucking child. Woman is 51 years old. Like, really? You just gave me a Lily when she was 6-year-old style temper tantrum. But yeah, she literally threw her laptop off her lap and threw her headphones off her head on the floor. I'm like, why are you throwing your headphones like that? They're my headphones. I can do that if I want. It's true, you can. I'm not impressed when you exhibit the maturity of a 6-year-old, though. I expect more of a 51-year-old woman. I expect more of a 21-year-old woman. I expect more of a 17-year-old kid. Anyway. So yeah, she gave me full attitude about it, but I didn't budge. I did put my foot down, and everything went directly out the door of my storage, and it was sitting on the lawn between my storage door and her vehicle. And one of my neighbors has a chair sitting there outside of their back door, and I just sat in the chair and watched to make sure that that stuff wasn't left behind on the, so why are you sitting there? I said, what? I said, I'm keeping an eye on what you're doing. She goes, why is that any of your business? I said, because you're at my home. Well, isn't your home over there? I said, no, this is part of my home. Which it is, So anyway, we got a lot more civil with each other once we got back inside. But I'm just, it's my home, man. I need to. A lot of people would say I'm not putting my foot down enough. So yeah, I definitely put my foot down on that stuff. And then I told her, that well, I'm going out 'cause it's my birthday, and she's like, well, do you want me to go? Do you want me to go with you? I said, well, I'd like that. And she's like, we want me to drive you there. I'm like, she goes, I know you hate riding. You say you hate riding in my vehicle. I hate riding in her vehicle because it's really messy. Also, she doesn't have air conditioning. Mostly because it's really messy. And I'm like, I said, no, I'd actually prefer it if you walk with me. Which is honest, I would much preferred it had she actually walked with me. Tell me you care about me enough to walk with me. And she doesn't. Now she came back with a whole list of excuses of why she can't walk. I can't walk because my back hurts. I can't walk because I'm cramping. Meanwhile, women with the same skin color as her walk around in Africa with large pots on their head and have never driven vehicles, and they get around just fine. And I never hear them complaining about their back hurts or their cramping. Just throwing that out there. Yeah. See plenty of homeless women walking around with their sidekicks, with their guys that they're down to ride with, and they're walking just fine. And maybe their backs hurt, maybe their backs don't hurt, but I don't know. And I don't know how bad. I'm not in her skin. I don't know how bad her back hurts. I don't know how bad she's cramping. But I know her legs ain't broke. And when my back works, and when I'm cramping, it hurts, and when I'm cramping, I still walk anyway because I don't have a choice. Anyway, answer the question. Are you down to walk with me? No, you're not. Okay. I said the walk's going to be therapeutic for me. I'd rather walk. Why don't you just drive up there? Meet me later after you finish up what you're doing. And she's still, working on this application on her laptop. I said, once you finish up what you're doing, you have a chance to get ready. I said, what do I need to do to get ready? I said, that's a question only you can answer. I mean, what do you feel like you need to do to get ready? She's like, I don't know. I should probably wash my arms and my face, and you should probably take a whole shower, but whatever. Anyway, it's a good chance. It's been 43 minutes. It's a good chance she's beat me there by now. So I need to just shut up. This video has been way longer than it should be. But anyway, I wanted to get that out. I still haven't really discussed what I did after I left. Well, I guess I did kind of describe what happened at Oz, but I didn't really describe much between what happened at Oz and me getting home last night. Oh my God. I see people over there with flashlights, and I can totally smell burning fentanyl right here. Fucking fabulous. They need to do something. Oh, and there's more squatters there. They need to do something about the Circle K. The Circle K is getting out of hand. Anyway, I'm going inside, get myself a cold beverage and some food to take to the bar, and maybe she'll beat me to the bar, maybe she won't. But I'll try to describe what happened with that other little missing block of time once I get home, once I get on the next video. So anyway, thanks for coming with On the Walk.